Time to see what Spirit is going to give us today. What is the Spirit read of the day? What is the Spirit read of today? Okay, let's see. Card number 1 is on healing. Great card to have today. Healing. This should be a time of healing. Okay. And its second card is invitation. Okay. So we have today an invitation for healing. And again, you know, this is the day of Christmas, the day that Christ was born, came to do his mission here, which was to bring healing, life. Okay, life, light, healing, all of those things he came to accomplish. So those are perfect cards for today. Let's see what we have with them. With healing, we have motion. Time to put motion into healing. Now, I like this because it's motion. It is Mars is the warring planet. Okay. So this time, instead of warring, okay, and having it something toxic, it's time to have healing. Okay. When it comes to invitation, the solar calm, clarifying about the invitation for healing that's being offered. Okay. Now we know, again, being Christmas, we're going to take this in that direction, that Christ came to heal. What did he say? He said, I came to those that are ill, not those that are well. Those that are well don't need me. Okay? They don't need a physician. It's the ill that need it. So he came to give the message, the good news, for those that were hurting, in pain, ill. Okay? He came. What did he do after on the cross? He went to hell. He went to hell, descended to hell, to what? Liberate them, give them the chance for liberation. Okay? To give them the chance for liberation. He wanted to take people out of hell realms, give them opportunity in their lives for healing. Okay? So, again, healing and motion, the world. He came into the world, but he is not of the world. He said, I am the Son of God. Okay, I am a son of God. Okay. Now, the Bible wants to say the Son of God, but the actual translation is a Son of God. And the Pharisees were questioning him. It's blasphemy for you to say you're a son of God. He says, how is it blasphemy? Isn't in your own writings that you are God's? So if your writings say you are God's, how is it blasphemy if I say I'm a son of God? Okay? So let's continue forward. Okay, clarify, invitation, timely. Okay? This was his karmic, his destiny. This was what he came in to do, to give that invitation, to clarify the truth. Okay? He wanted to clarify, because you look at the Old Testament and it's all about, browbeating this and that and everything, and you need to die and God is jealous and, all of these things he said. And he came to say, look, God's not a jealous God. It's kind of like, what are you saying? God is a God of light and love. Okay? So he came to bring clarification. Okay? He came to bring clarification. Okay? So for healing, it's about the past. It's about looking at your past and coming to a place of healing. So he came to give that information, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, for the things that you've had in your lifetime. Okay, the things that you've held on to on this earth plane. Okay, so he has come to talk about healing, the motion of healing, putting an end to those things and coming to liberation. Okay, to clarify, he's taking you from, and this is beautiful today, the invitation to clarify what was said. Okay, what God truly is and is not. Okay, to take you from the choppy waters to the calm, to bring you to liberation, to bring you to love, to bring you to all of those good things. Okay, so here it is, the invitation to clarify and see what is it you've planted and what are you harvesting in life. If you are, unhappy with what you've had in life, then you have the invitation here to change. You have an invitation to change, to move to calmer waters, okay? To heal, okay? Especially during this time of Christmas, because his message, his thing was to bring healing, was to bring love, was to bring life, okay? Again, so, in the world but not of it, okay? It's an end of a chapter. His life and his death, he said, okay, if you gotta have a death, if you gotta have a sacrifice, then here I am. I'll be the sacrificial lamb. Because you needed a lamb without blemish. He was someone without blemish, okay? So he became the sacrifice. Although he said, God is a God of love. But in the old Jewish thing, they were sacrificing. Okay? You needed a sacrifice for peace. You needed a sacrifice for this. You needed a sacrifice for that. Okay? And what did he say later? What was said later? God said, because we have these prophets that came, but they were speaking, they said they were prophets of God. They were speaking on God's behalf. They were speaking for God. But they wanted to put out God's a jealous God and these things, and that's not what he was about. He said, well, I'm not going to come after you because you're sacrificing, okay? Because that's there, but really, do I need your sacrifices? I don't eat meat, I don't eat, I don't do those things. I'm spirit. And if I did need to eat, take in these things, I own all the cattle on 1,000 hills. I created everything. Do I need your offerings? The offerings and the sacrifice that I want is a good heart, to do the right thing, to be a righteous person. That's what I want, not the killing of goats and cattle and doves and all of these things, okay? I don't need to smell burning flesh, okay? All of these things I own, okay? So I want the good sacrifice. So anyway, we have the message of Christ coming, putting an end to that part of the equation and coming to more light, okay? He said, I came to fulfill the laws, not to do away with it, okay? You put these laws into effect, and of course, we have those that want to come and browbeat, especially about my tarot, but they so conveniently forget the other things. What did they stone them for? Adultery, okay? Do you hear them railing about adultery? Do you hear them railing about bearing false witness? Do you hear them railing about any of those things? Of course not. Of course not. But if they actually read, they would see that those things were there as well. Adultery. In that time, you would get stoned. You would get killed for it. Okay? So many things there. Okay? But, we have ones that want to cherry pick something and then not understand where it's coming from. But in the old time, we had all of these prophets. We had false prophets that were saying they're speaking for God, okay? And again, they put out negative things. So now, he came and said, look at what's in your life. Are you somebody that's of the sheep or are you a goat? Okay? Now, I couldn't believe the other day they asked one of the Trump supporters, I'm not a sheep, I'm definitely a goat. Well, the goat is Satan. Satan's thing is goat, stubborn, okay? Ego, stubborn. I'm going to do my own thing, the goat, do my own way, okay? And we actually had the Trump supporters said, I'm not a sheep. You're not under the shepherd of Christ. You're not under... So again, that's why I call it the evil angel squad, because everything is turned twisted. So now is a time for the motion of healing. We have that opportunity. The invitation is here. It's what we're getting today. Trying to get the card. Invitation for clarification, to clarify some things, okay? Because this is the timely time, the karma, to do that, okay? To move to calmer waters from the things that you have planted and harvesting, which are not beneficial, okay? You're looking at your life and you see, I've got this harvest and I'm really unhappy with it. Then what have you planted? What seeds have you put into place? Okay? Are these seeds of beauty, love, light, compassion, those things? Or is it animosity? I need to get ahead. I care about myself and nobody else. What is it you're planting? What is it you're following? Are you following like Christ's example? He said, if you believe in me, then you're going to follow. You're going to do the things that I do, okay? You're going to live the life that I live. You're going to follow my example. I'm the way, the truth, the life, okay? Follow this way. Understand these truths and do a good life. Live a good life. And you'll be abundant, okay? I'm going to give you the water that you never thirst again. I'm going to give you the food that's going to benefit you, okay? I'm going to give you the food, the things that are going to nourish you, okay? And so that's what he came and that's what he was giving. Instead of all this, the letter of the law, he said, all of the laws are in one thing. Do unto others that you would have others do to you. Okay? Love. All of the laws of the prophets hinge on that. Although when men put it out, they put it out as condemnations. Okay? And he said, if you are coming from love, what condemnation can come? If you are somebody that's loving and you're in a marriage, you're not going to cheat on your wife. You're not going to commit adultery. You're not going to lie about someone else. You're not going to do these things, okay? You will be a son, a daughter of God. You will be one that is carrying the message, the love, the light, the truth, and be a light in the world. Don't hide it under a bushel. Put your light out there. If you are a light, speak of light. Be light. Share that. And you may be hated for it, okay? If they hated me, they'll hate you as well if you're coming with light. Because the darkness does not like the light, okay? Because it condemns the darkness, okay? The darkness does not understand the light, okay? So the light came into the world and the darkness did not understand it. What is the very first thing? In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word, okay? That truth, which is spoken, that energy, those things that are being put out. And that's why he says it's not what you put into your body that condemns you, but what comes out of your mouth, because that is what's coming out of your heart. Okay? That's where your faith is. That's where your, who and what you are. Okay? It's what's coming out of your mouth. What's in your heart? What's in your mind? What's in your spirit? Are you having a spirit of love or a spirit of condemnation? Okay? Are you understanding the fulfillment of the law? Or are you trying to be a letter of the law? Men's interpretations. Okay? Christ came to give the true interpretation. Okay? Where it comes from. And you have men that spin it into something toxic. Okay? And in what Christ said, it's not what you put in that defiles you, but what comes out. You look and you go into Old Testament, you can't eat this, you can't have meat with milk, you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have pork, you can't have, there were all these restrictions around food, what you can eat, how you can eat it, etc., etc. And he said, it's not what you put in that's defiling you. They say these things are unclean, so you can't have it. Christ in one sentence threw that out, said, it's not what you're putting in that's defiling you, it's what's coming out. It's where your heart is, okay? It's your actions. It's your intent. It's your spirit. What is your spirit? Do you have the Holy Spirit? Are you coming from love? Are you coming from light? Are you coming from, the things of spirit? Are you coming from those? Or are you coming from the spirit of haughtiness, pride, jealousy, anger, those things? Where are you at? Because we are coming again to a big dividing time, place of division. Okay? And just because you're doing the things out of love, don't think that everyone is going to appreciate it. As you can see here, I do the right thing and try to give in love, and I have someone that absolutely wants to attack, condemn me to hell, okay? For caring, okay? For giving out of love. Because the darkness can't stand light. Darkness cannot stand light. Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. Much love and light. Today is a day of coming to a point where we look at healing. Healing. Okay. Coming from love, open to love, and healing. not only getting healing on your side, but giving healing, giving words of healing and love and light and all of these things, of sustenance, things that are going to sustain and feed others. Okay? What does it also say? Who, in asking the Father for a fish, is going to get a stone instead? So, be like your Father in heaven and give something of love and life and nourishment to others. If they're asking for fish, don't give them a stone. Give them those things which are going to benefit them. Okay? Healthy things. Okay? So on that note, again, I'm going to leave this here. Love and light. Merry Christmas to all. And we'll see you online.